closet, there's the valve stems, because our water's not filtered. So all the silt and things of that nature get in and they destroy the rubber gaskets. And it's been 8 years since they've been replaced. Since they've been put in, so it's replacement costs.
Well, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but we need to take out the 10,000, and we need to look at some of these other items and reduce some of them. Maybe not eliminate them, but I mean, tools and equipment. What would be under that category?
Replacement batteries for his battery operated like drills and saws. He's looking for some pulleys, pulley pullers. I know that's not.
For fans?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
that type of equipment. Trying to think what else was on his list.
And I guess you need to come back with some more detail. For example, the paint,
Okay.
$4,000,
Mm-hmm.
miscellaneous hardware.
Okay.
I'd like to see the list of tools and equipment. Anybody else got any areas that they want to see more detail on? Okay. Yeah.
Attorney's fees?
Yes, sir.
For?
Well, we deal with the labor unions. When we do our negotiations with our labor unions, we have to deal with that. Any fees that we, like workers, I want to say, doesn't workers' comp, those type of employment matters require fees. So if we have an employee or a former employee that's challenging a labor issue, then we have to pay attorney's fees for that.
Is that handled by the county attorney?
No, sir.
What about, does the court assess fees to individuals? Like, do they say you're gonna pay $25 to be housed at the county jail?
No.
Does the jail get reimbursed for any of that?
No, then what you just brought up, if a person has an outstanding fine that hasn't paid the court, then they put them in jail to pay off the fine at $50 a day. So the court doesn't get their money, and it costs us however much.
$110 a day. Isn't that crazy? Put them in jail to pay off their bill of $50, and it costs us $110. Something's wrong with the system, right? Anyway.
Let's see. Equipment repair. Drop that down to $12,500 from $13,000 that we budgeted for last year. Looking to see if we can get a new antenna for their base unit. Right now it's a magnetic mount that's up in the ceiling in the control room, and even with the new radios that we have, it's hard to hear throughout the building. One of the people that we've talked to, by placing an antenna up on top of the roof, will help with that.
Is that through Pope?
No, that was actually through, I talked to Osprey Mountain Electronics, and I've
Okay.
talked to Two-Way Communication. Under the photocopier expense, I'm going to drop that down to $43.20 for a savings of $780. We have a monthly service fee through
Porter?
Porter, yes.
Why isn't that up under,
Office supply?
no. Other fees and services.
I don't know, we've always had this photocopier expense line,
Okay,
so it's always been there.
all right.
But we can, I mean, you wanna put it under other fees and services, wouldn't hear an argument out of me.
No, leave it there, and we can see it, what it's costing.
Okay. Insurance, that was a direct quote from the business office.
Yeah. No equipment.
New equipment. Having replacement ammunition for training, taser cartridges, battery packs, some use of force training equipment that we don't have. Some more handcuffs. And then digital portable radios as well. So when the officers go out on the transport, once they leave the car, they still have the ability to communicate with dispatch. And then when I submitted my budget, you didn't have a copy of the income for the facility. Just ran over it. And we can, I'm not sure what we budgeted for last year, but based on what we've received so far, we can increase that to $66,445.
I don't have the revenue. You do? How much is that increase by?
I don't have that sheet with me.
Okay.
Well, maybe I do.
I want to go back to the gun issue. The only time that we're using guns is in transport.
Yes, sir.
Do we have to spend $19,000 for, well, it's more than just guns. It's a lot of training.
Some of this equipment, like the training suits, we don't have anything. And to do the training, you'd want to be able to protect the staff when we're doing the training. We don't have floor mats for proning people out.
What does the sheriff's department have for training?
I don't know what they do for in-house training.
This is all new? This is what you're proposing?
This
New?
this is new. We don't have any of this stuff.
Where do they store the weapons now?
We have an armory in the building.
But we need a storage locker?
It's just to make sure that all the weapons and ammunition are locked up. It's just a larger storage locker, that's all.
I mean, it looks like we're preparing for a big riot with all the stuff we got here. 5 convex shields, training suit, student protection, shooting glasses. I can see the portable radios for transports. And the taser battery packs. We don't have any handcuffs now?
We have some, yes.
But we need 10 new ones?
It would be to stage them on like transport belts, stage them on like the restraint chair. We have the restraint chairs that we have, to utilize them on that, and then some of that would be to issue to the new staff as well.
Does every officer have handcuffs?
Presently, yes.
Are there any changes in the handcuffs
No.
as far as manufacturing or anything? I don't know how much ammunition is in 40 cases, but 40 cases sounds like a lot.
It's
you Give me some information on
it's
that.
50 rounds in a box.
How much?
50 rounds in one box. Yeah.
And how many boxes in a case?
That I don't know. I could get with the officer and ask.
You're talking about $4,600 worth of training ammunition, 9mm. Have any of your officers been trained on any of this? Any
Yes.
of these firearms?
Yes. 6 or 7 people that have completed the training.
Will they all be trained?
I'm sorry?
Eventually, you expect all to be trained?
Like to have everybody certified, yes ma'am.
Where did they get certified?
Through our instructor.
So we have had some of this in our budget already.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, I think we need to take another look at the new equipment. For a total of $19,873. Am I missing something? You have in here 20,173?
Did you have the flex cuffs underneath there for $300? Down towards the bottom. Do you have that one?
Handcuffs.
Do you?
Okay, the other item you don't have is the information technology,
Right.
what's going to be assigned.
Yeah, I was just talking to John outside, and he's asked for me to purchase for 2 new PCs. And so in the service contract for last year was $15,435. So that would be about $17,000.
Jason, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you gotta go back and I know the 8 people, that's a sizable amount of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no way that we're going to be, and I didn't have the 17,000 in there you just talked about, but we're talking about 18% increase. There's gotta be some reduction somewhere. You're the one that can make those reductions. I appreciate you asking for the amount of money that you need to do your job, but somewhere or other, we've got to reduce that. If we're gonna come in with a 3.58% total budget increase, is what McCarthy was talking about, I believe.
I think we passed a target of 1%. I know we did.
Yeah, I know, but he also was talking about the VA or some other affiliations he's involved in, is looking at a 3.48 or 3.58% increase. But anyway, we're shooting for 1% increase, and we can't make it up with all